In the starting scene, we see a kid named Henry Turner leaves his home in the dark of night to take a rowboat and sails it to the middle of the ocean. He tie a rope to his leg, and by the help of a huge stone he pulled down to the bottom of the sea, and inside the cursed ghost ship, the Flying Dutchman. Will, Henry's father, is still cursed as captain of the Dutchman. Henry wishes to break his father's curse by obtaining the fabled Trident of Poseidon, with the assistance of Captain Jack Sparrow. Will believes it is a lost cause and advises his son to give up his quest. He returns Henry to his boat. 9 years later, Henry is serving aboard the Monarch, a British Royal Navy ship. He realizes the ship is approaching the Devil's Triangle, a dangerous area of the Atlantic Ocean where ships are not permitted to sail. Henry rushes to warn the captain of their impending course, but is charged with disloyalty and imprisoned in the ship's brig. The warship, indeed, passes through the rocky walls that lead into the Devil's Triangle. They are soon attacked by the Silent Mary's undead pirates. The ghost pirates kill the soldiers one at a time. Captain Armando Salazar has boarded the warship. He walks down to the brig and notices a wanted poster for Jack Sparrow. Salazar discovers Henry's cell and instructs the boy to inform Jack that Salazar will be coming for him. Then we see a young woman named Karina Smith is imprisoned in a cell on the island of St. Martin after being accused of witchcraft. In reality, she is just an expert in astronomy and horology. She manages to pick her lock and escape while speaking with a guard. Meanwhile, Jack has broken into a bank vault and is sleeping inside it on the island. His team attaches the entire bank to a herd of horses and has them pull it through the streets. They make it back to Jack's new ship, the Dying Gull, which is moored near the shore. When the crew brings the vault aboard, they discover that it is completely empty, save for a single coin, which Jack nabs for himself. The crew is fed up with how Jack has been leading them. Mr. Gibbs has also lost faith in old Jack. They all turn away from him and leave him alone. Henry is still a British Royal Navy prisoner and is about to be executed for treason. But he is surprised to find Karina disguised herself to find Henry personally. She wishes to assist Henry in locating the Trident of Poseidon and is able to do so thanks to a diary she has in her possession that contains a map to the Trident, which only became visible during a blood moon with the help of red jewels she has been carrying. Jack goes to exchange his magical compass for a bottle of rum. Once the transaction is completed, Salazar and his crew are freed from the Devil's Triangle, allowing them to roam the seas in search of Jack. Karina assists Henry in escaping, but she and Jack are apprehended. Jack meets Henry in his cell and discovers he is the son of the late Will Turner and Elizabeth Swan. When Henry finds Jack, he sees him as a disgraced drunk locked up in a cell and is disappointed. He explains to Jack how he intends to break his father's curse. Jack and Karina are led to the gallows for execution. On his way to the noose, Jack visits a cell and meets his uncle Jack, who has seen better days but is content with his pirate life. Before Jack and Karina's sentences are carried out, Henry gathers Jack's crew to help them escape, despite the fact that Henry is only paying them to save Jack. The pirates fight the guards and the executioner, and Karina is almost hanged until Henry rescues her. Everyone makes their way to the Dying Gull and manages to free it from its clutches. Captain Hector Barbassa is enjoying his time as captain of the Queen Anne's Revenge after taking it from Captain Blackbeard, with his new crew assisting him in reaping many rewards. However, Barbassa discovers that Salazar is present. He meets Shansa, a sea witch, who has taken possession of the compass and gives it to Barbassa. Salazar and his crew soon discover the Queen Anne's Revenge, and Salazar meets with Barbassa after discovering he possesses the compass. He wants him to assist him in apprehending Jack. Salazar explains his fight with Jack. Salazar was a powerful captain of the Spanish Navy who traveled the seas with his men, slaying every pirate they encountered. They came across a young Jack, who was still a crew member on his ship. As Salazar and his crew annihilated Jack's crew, the young lad quickly obtained the compass from one of his dying comrades. Jack deceived Salazar into sailing his ship into the Devil's Triangle with his quick thinking. Salazar's ship and men were destroyed, but the Devil's Triangle's power brought them back to life as ghosts. Jack was then appointed captain of his ship. Salazar now wants to find the Trident in order to kill Jack and every other pirate on the island. Barbassa agrees to assist in the search for Jack. The British Royal Navy arrives shortly after and heads toward the Gull, but they are sunk by the Silent Mary. Salazar is after Jack, prompting Jack to inform Gibbs and the rest of the crew that they are dealing with the dead. Jack and his crew are attacked by ghost pirates. While the others fight, Jack, Karina, and Henry board a rowboat. Karina disembarks the rowboat and swims to a nearby island. Salazar has reanimated dead sharks and sent them after Jack and his crew before Henry can do the same. Jack and Henry try to avoid the sharks, and they manage to hook onto one and ride it to shore. Salazar and his men pursue them, but they can't touch down without melting in the sun. Salazar promises to wait for Jack as he and Henry make their way into the island. During their walk around the island, Jack is approached by an old pirate comrade who claims he owes Jack a favor. He coerces Jack into marrying his awful, widowed sister and adopting their 2 children. Before the union can be formalized, Barbossa appears and unintentionally saves Jack. However, he still requires something from Jack. He wishes to extract the black pearl from the bottle Jack has been carrying all along, so that it may once again sail the seas. Jack takes the pearl from its bottle and has Barbossa push it into the water, where it grows back to its massive size. Barbossa has Jack tied to the mast on the way to the Trident. He walks over to Karina, who is gazing up at the stars. Barbossa suggests that Karina's father was a thief, to which she responds by slapping him. She explains to Barbossa how she got her name from a star. Barbossa deduces her name is Karina after seeing the design in her diary. He returns to Jack, and the 2 of them realize that Karina is Barbossa's daughter. He tells Jack that he gave up a child for adoption a long time ago and believes this is her. Barbossa doesn't want anyone else to know, and he threatens to cut Jack's tongue out if he says anything. Salazar and his crew discover the crew as they approach the Trident. The pirates all fight, with Salazar going after Jack. The pearl eventually arrives at the island containing the Trident. Karina notices that the points on the island correspond to the design of the star's alignment. She discovers the Trident's location using the red jewel. The sea splits in 2, revealing the Trident at the bottom of the sea. Salazar seizes the Trident and attempts to murder Jack with it. Henry and Karina realize that destroying the Trident will end all sea curses. Henry rushes up and breaks the Trident, which is pinned against Jack. Salazar and his men revert to their previous state. Gibbs and the others let go of the anchor, allowing Jack, Henry, Karina, and Barbossa to resurface. They grab on, but Salazar, who isn't going to stop until Jack is dead, pursues them with some of his men. As they near the top, the sea begins to merge. Barbossa lowers the anchor and confronts Karina. He reveals a tattoo of stars on his arm, and Karina quickly realizes what it means. She inquires as to what she is to him. Treasure, Barbossa responds. He drops his sword and strikes Salazar, killing the captain and his men at the expense of Barbossa's life. The crew mourns Barbossa once the other 3 have returned to the ship. Karina and Henry are standing on a hill. They succumb to their attraction and kiss. Henry uses a telescope to observe the surface of the Flying Dutchman. Will walks down to the beach, finally free. He approaches Henry and notices his necklace. Knowing it is his son's, Will embraces Henry, who promises to tell him how he set him free. Elizabeth soon joins them, running up to Will and kissing him. Jack is back in command of the Black Pearl, and the crew is ready to follow him. They embarked on their next adventure. Will is sleeping in bed with Elizabeth after the credits. A shadowy figure slowly walks in as the door opens. Then we see Davy Jones claw Will is startled to wake up. He clutches Elizabeth as if it were a nightmare. He is unaware that a trace of Jones' wet barnacles can be found on the floor.